Hello, my name is Robert Nordlund. I want to thank the Board of Directors for choosing Association Reserves to prepare a no-site visit reserve study update for your association. A no-site visit-based reserve study update is our least expensive professional level of service. This is because there's no site inspection, no measuring, and no photographic inventory in connection with updating your component list. Instead, we rely on the credibility of the existing component list from a prior reserve study. A credible component list is one where all appropriate repair and replacement projects were accounted for on the basis of a four-part test that was established as part of National Reserve Study standards. In a no-site visit update, the component information, and by that I mean each component's useful life, remaining useful life, and replacement cost, is updated at our office based on a thorough review and telephone or email research with knowledgeable parties. A no-site visit reserve study update is an appropriate level of service in between site inspection-based updates. A site inspection may be unnecessary if your component list is short or uncomplicated, or in the years where nothing has happened recently to affect the scope or schedule of your reserve projects. All of our reports are prepared in accordance with National Reserve Study standards, and the component list serves as the foundation of every reserve study. It's on the basis of this updated component list that we calculate your current reserve fund strength. I'll be discussing that calculation later. The third and final result is a custom funding plan that complies with these four reserve funding principles. In the next 3 minutes, I'll be walking you through a sample no-site visit report to help you better understand the reserve study update that you've recently received for your association. You may find it helpful to have a copy of your report handy.
The cover page contains a nice photo of your property, as well as details about the report period. Although your study contains a 30-year projection, our reserve study findings and recommendations are limited to a 1-year period, corresponding to your association's fiscal year end. Now let's jump to the 3-minute executive summary. The executive summary is designed to summarize the 3 key results of the reserve study. These findings are all presented as of the first day of your fiscal year. Your association's projected starting reserve balance is shown here. Below that is the calculated value of common area deterioration, known as your fully funded reserve balance. And the ratio of starting balance to the fully funded balance is called percent funded and is the standard measure of an association's reserve fund strength. Your funding plan, which consists of a recommended budgeted reserve contribution and, as necessary, a special assessment, is strongly influenced by the association's percent funded. As such, an association's percent funded is very important, and we'll be discussing its implications later in this video. You may want to take note of that number now. You can compare our recommended contribution to your most recent reserve contribution rate, which is located right below the gray box, to see if there's any difference. Recommendations for a special assessment are only made as a last resort when there are pressing reserve projects and not enough time to collect sufficient funds through normal budgeted contributions. The third and final key result of a reserve study is the component list. You'll find that on the next page in Table 1. The component list outlines the scope and schedule of all the repair and replacement projects with specific information regarding each project's useful life, remaining useful life, and current replacement cost. Line items that are highlighted in yellow are projects where the remaining useful life has reached 0, meaning that item is already scheduled to be replaced within the initial year of the study.
I hope this has been helpful in explaining the 3 key results of your reserve study: the funding plan, reserve fund strength, and the component list. They're all found in your executive summary. That's the heart of the report and already a lot of information for you to digest. If you'd like to learn more about the figures and tables contained in your no-site visit update report, you can watch the next video in the series. If your association is underfunded, that is, the association's percent funded is in the 0 to 70% range, or if it contained a recommendation for a special assessment, just follow the link to the video. If you have further questions, we encourage you to visit our Learning Center, where you'll find a rich library of written and videotaped resources. And finally, if you have any feedback, please follow the link to a short survey. On behalf of the entire Association Reserves team, thank you again for choosing Association Reserves as your reserve planning partner. It's been our pleasure to work with your association to assemble this information so informed budget decisions can be made and accurate disclosures provided to your current and prospective members. We look forward to working with you again the next time we update your association's reserve study.